Wonderful stuff.
This is John C. with High School University. Today I'm going to talk to you about the difference between weighted GPA and unweighted GPA. GPA is your grade point average, and it takes into account the average of the grades that you get. A weighted GPA takes into account the difficulty of the course that you're taking. So in a typical unweighted GPA, all of your grades have points that are associated with them. So for instance, an A is worth 4 points, a B would be worth 3 points, a C is worth 2 points, a D is worth 1 point, and an F, well, that's worth 0 points. But I know none of you are going to get Fs, so we don't have to worry about that. With a weighted GPA, the student receives more points for that same letter grade. So for instance, an A on a weighted GPA is worth 5 points. A B on a weighted GPA is worth 4 points, and so on and so forth. So to calculate those GPAs, it becomes important to know which classes are weighted and which classes are unweighted that you're taking. So when we calculate that GPA, we take into account all of the classes that a student's taking. So for instance, if you're taking a math course or a science course, a history course, English course, or a foreign language such as Spanish, you take your grades that you get and you transfer them into the points that we spoke about before. So if you get an A in math, that's worth 4 points. Science, if you get a B, that's worth 3 points. And you take the points that you earn for each one of those classes, you add them up and divide by how many classes you're taking. So for instance, in this example, I've earned 19 total points and I've taken 6 classes. My total GPA then is 3.167. If I take that same exact scenario and those same grades, but instead now they're weighted, I earn more points. And my total is 25.0 out of 6 classes for a GPA of 4.16. Now reality is the student's not going to take all weighted courses. So you would take into account which courses are weighted and which courses are unweighted. Take those two together and average them out, and that would be your GPA. Now, why does this matter? What courses are typically weighted? It's important when you're scheduling or you're choosing your courses that you realize which courses you're choosing are weighted and which courses that you're choosing are unweighted, so that you have a good idea of how those courses are going to affect your overall GPA. But in the end, does it even matter? Do colleges even care about your GPA? They absolutely do. However, it's really important to know, as you're investigating and researching your colleges, that you should always find out if they take into account weighted or unweighted GPA when accepting applicants. So part of your research should be to identify how those colleges are going to use your GPA and use that to your advantage. So early on, when you're thinking about what courses you're choosing and the colleges that you want to go to, you should definitely know how to calculate your weighted or unweighted GPA and what that college is going to look for. I hope this lesson was great for you, and I look forward to seeing you at High School University in the future.
Wonderful stuff.